Good evening and thank you for joining us. It was a storm for the history books, and tonight much of Newfoundland and Labrador is buried in snow. A blizzard with hurricane-force winds whipped the province yesterday and didn't let up. St. John's International Airport recorded 76.2 centimeters of snow. That's the most since record-keeping began in 1942. Other areas saw over 90 centimeters, and the fierce winds blowing all that snow around created drifts that reached up to rooftops. The province has extended a state of emergency for St. John's and surrounding areas into tomorrow, and it could remain in place until the start of the week. As Ross Lord reports, it'll take days for people on the rock to dig out.
The worst snowstorm in decades is finally over, but its impact is only now coming into view. Streets plugged with snow, cars covered, and in some cases buried deep beneath snowfall that was accurately forecast, but needs to be seen to be believed.
No, my buddy, this is the most I ever see in my life.
This is what we got. There's nowhere to put the snow. Where do we put the snow?
For a second day, a state of emergency remained in effect in St. John's and in many other Newfoundland communities. Tens of thousands of Newfoundlanders have been forced to endure power outages.
It was about 12 hours. We lost power for about 12 hours.
For people in this neighborhood, staying inside didn't help. Police say an avalanche of snow crashed into one home, spreading heavy snow inside and causing firefighters to urge residents to move to safety. Emergency responders say they are available if required. Here, firefighters responded to an explosion from an electrical transformer near the top of a house. Fortunately, there was no serious damage. In another community, a man who suffers from medical issues has gone missing. His family has not heard from him since he left home on foot Friday at the height of the blizzard. A big question, can the province of Newfoundland and Labrador handle the cleanup alone? The Premier has asked the federal government for help.
It could be anything to providing assistance to people that are left stranded in their homes, and there's quite a few of those. The state of emergency is still and been extended in many parts of the province right now because of the accumulation of snowfall. So there will be a number of things that they could be engaged in.
Where we can give relief and where we can assist them, that's very important. But also just for the general public to know that the federal government is acting with all the resources that it can bring to bear as quickly as possible.
In Bonavista, another coastal community in a state of emergency, the snowfall total is 71 centimeters. There were peak gusts of 164 kilometers an hour.
To me, the most frightening and, for me were winds. Just so incredible speed. Just everything shaking was so scary.
Bonavista's mayor estimates it will cost millions of dollars to repair the damage, including 5 sections of seawall that collapsed. A cold snap has moved in, ensuring all of this won't be going anywhere for a while. Ross Lord, Global News, Halifax.
For more on the record-breaking snowstorm and when Newfoundlanders can expect to see some relief, let's bring in Global's Mike Arsenault. Mike?
Hi, Robin. Well, the overall snowfall totals from this storm are almost hard to fathom. As we take a look, nearly a meter of snow fell in Mount Pearl and Paradise, anywhere between 75 and 85 centimeters across the city of St. John's. Now, this isn't just the one-day snowfall. This includes some lingering snowfall very early this morning. And the winds, as Ross alluded to in his report, Bonavista, 164 kilometers per hour, 171 in Green Island. Cape Pine, 146 kilometer per hour wind gusts. So it was really a hurricane trapped in a blizzard. These were the conditions that people across Newfoundland were dealing with. It is quiet right now. Lots of sunshine, cold temperatures as people try to dig out, but more active weather is on the way. Sunny skies, clear skies for today, but this storm bringing snow right now and this evening into Ontario and into Quebec will become a Sunday story in the Maritimes, and then another 10 to 15 centimeters for portions of Newfoundland. Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement, so still lots of active weather for eastern Canada to come.
Mike Arsenault in the Global News Weather Center. Thanks, Mike. And the storm system Mike mentioned is already causing problems in Toronto. Drivers are dealing with potentially dangerous conditions. They're being warned visibility could change suddenly because of heavy blowing snow. More than 200 accidents have already been reported in the GTA. Today's storm is expected to be the most significant snowfall to hit the region since November. That powerful storm is also hammering the U.S. tonight. Tens of millions of Americans are under a winter storm warning. Heavy snow and freezing rain are causing treacherous travel conditions from the Midwest to the Northeast. More than 1,000 flights have been canceled, and it's chaos on the roads. Jennifer Johnson reports.
A massive winter storm plowing across the U.S. Millions of people put under blizzard warnings as whiteout conditions make traveling hazardous from the plains to the Midwest. This dramatic video from a crash in Iowa, a pickup truck narrowly missing a delivery truck driver whose vehicle had slid off the highway. Police say if you have to be on the road, take precautions.
Turn on your hazards, let other drivers know that you're having an issue.
Heavy snow is being blamed on a deadly avalanche Friday at the Alpine Meadows Ski Resort in California, killing 34-year-old Cole Comstock. Skiers are still heading to the slopes, but being careful.
Usually it's only when there's tons of new snow and you're trying to be out there while that's coming down and building up, and I try to avoid being out there when that's happening.
In Minnesota, first the snow, now freezing rain. Crews working around the clock to keep the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport open.
We have bunk beds. They eat at the airport. They sleep at the airport so that we can make sure that they're available to plow those runways.
In Chicago, the storm has caused hundreds of flights to be canceled. Kansas City, too. Its airport forced to shut down runways because of a dangerous snow-ice mix. This Delta flight slid off the tarmac. Fortunately, no one was injured. Some football fans trying to fly to Missouri are taking no chances, skipping the skies and hitting the road for an 8-hour drive to get to the Titans-Chiefs AFC Championship game by Sunday.
Just hoping there's no wrecks so we can get there in a timely manner. It's worth it for this team. Big fans, so got to do it.
More snow and sleet are predicted from Chicago to Buffalo to parts of New England as this monster storm moves north. Snow was predicted for the Washington, D.C. area, but only small amounts of freezing rain are expected. The Mid-Atlantic dodging this event, still waiting for its first big snowstorm of the winter. Robin?
Jennifer Johnson in Washington.